Well, it's springtime, and here in Northwest Indiana, that means coho fishing on Lake Michigan. And with us today is Tim Morris, the president of Salmon Unlimited. Tim, before we get started, can you give us a little background on Salmon Unlimited?
Salmon Unlimited is a club that was formed in the late 60s to inform everybody, sport fishermen and the public, about fishing on Lake Michigan. We've got one heck of a fishery here, and we kind of feel like it's underutilized. Clubs like Salmon Unlimited let the local folks in on what we're doing, how we do it, when and where.
How many members does Salmon Unlimited have?
We have about 100 members right now, but back when in the last few years we had a problem with the fishery a little bit. The Chinook were dying off, and that's been remedied, and the club's making a big comeback. I think as the fishing goes, the club goes.
What kind of annual events do you guys have?
We run a half a dozen different tournaments. We have a Boy Scout outing where we take the kids fishing, and we have a ladies tournament that all the public's invited to. The 6 tournaments that we have are inter-club tournaments. So you have to, one member on the boat has to be a club member to fish in them. But we want more members. We want all the fishing public to get involved.
Now, can you tell me, is Lake Michigan a very good place to fish?
I've got customers that come from all over the world to fish on my charter boat, but we have some of the best fishing in the United States. The steelhead fishing, the Skamania steelhead fishing, which Indiana is famous for, catches bigger steelhead than any place else on earth. We've got a great fishery.
All right, now let's get into the Coho salmon run. Give us the inside scoop on this year's run.
Well, the dynamics of the lake are the lake warms up on the south end first, so the majority of the bait fish are down here. The coho follow the bait fish, and we're going to have a tremendous run this year. Fishing is going to be great from what I understand. We just put the boat in the water, and we're going to get ready and go right now.
Now, can you tell me exactly what is a coho salmon?
A coho salmon is the stuff on the west coast called a silver salmon. If you go to the grocery store and buy canned salmon, a lot of the time you're buying what we catch out here at Coho. Of course, it comes from the Pacific Ocean. It's not these fish.
Now, what type of depth and tackle are we looking at for an angler or a fisherman to be able to catch one of these coho salmons?
If you take a look at the boat, I'm fishing with primarily dodgers and flies, and I've got a little more exaggerated setup than the average fisherman's got to have. You don't have to have stuff as extensive as I do.
What are some of the limits in length, and what kind of numbers are we looking at in order for somebody to keep their limit catch for the day?
You can catch 5 coho salmon, an aggregate of 5 salmon, which are lake trout, brown trout, steelhead, coho, or chinook. Okay. And there's a 14-inch size limit.
All right, what's the most popular way to prepare a coho salmon?
You can bake them, you can broil them, you can deep fry them. I kind of like them poached this time of year with a little bit of lemon and butter.
Well, I'll tell you what, all this talk about fishing for coho salmons give me an appetite, so why don't we go wet a line?
Let's go get some fish.
we are, an hour and a half later, and look what we caught. That's what I call fishing. Now, Tim, can you give us the size and weights that we have of the Coho salmon here?
These are pretty much spring jacks, which are 2 to 3 pounds. You know, the smaller fish will run 16 inches, and the bigger ones look like about 20, which is a wonderful size for as early as it is. Today's March 15th, and we're just having a great fishery already this year.
Now, for those who are interested in joining Salmon Unlimited, how can they get a hold of you?
You can get a hold of me at 219-924-2593, or you can get a hold of the Secretary-Treasurer, Larry Trojan, at 219-929-1893.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this segment. You can see that Coho salmon fishing is fabulous fun, and stay tuned for more of Around the Region.